Good morning, everyone. I'm going to do another one of my little preparing for the day because here I have a whole bunch of supplements that have come in and it's reminded me about inflammation, diabetes, insulin resistance, that sort of thing. So one of the things I've been doing, I've been on the treadmill a lot lately because my ankle's been out a bit. So basically I have been using the treadmill rather than getting out and about in the world, because when I'm out on the streets, you know, it throws my ankle out. So when my ankle is a bit dodged, which it has been for a while, I basically need to take it easy. So I did my VLAs this morning, which was interesting. So a VLA is a bio-impedance screening, and it gives you there's heaps of these out there. So this is just one that gives things like your BMI, your total fat mass, your muscle quality, your level of inflammation, your level of hydration. Now, I'm generally pretty good when it comes to muscle mass and muscle quality. I tend to have high levels of both of these. One of the things, obviously, especially in the last year or two, we've had so many visitors so consistently that our diet, normally our diet's really good, as you can imagine, Monday to Friday, and then on the weekend we let ourselves go a bit. But the last year we've had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday visitors most of the time. So then it's hard to be impolite and say, oh, no, I won't eat that you brought, or I won't eat the pie, or, you know. So our diet's sort of fallen all over the place, as you can imagine. So basically, I've been exercising to try to maintain, which hasn't really worked. I've put on weight. But nonetheless, since I got back from Peru in December, our big long holiday, I think I've put on 3 kilos, and I've managed to get it down to 1, and then it goes back up. Anyway, over the weekend I put on 2 kilos, so I thought I'd chat a bit about that because basically, even though I've been pretty good for the last couple of days, the weight hasn't come off again. Now, normally when I'm bad on the weekend, usually by about Tuesday, Wednesday, it's sort of gone if I exercise and I behave myself. So I've been behaving and it's not coming off. So it made me do the VLA and have a look at it. And what I found, which was sort of interesting, is that my fat mass is down. Okay, so I'll give you the numbers because they're sort of interesting to me and maybe it'll make a bit of sense to those of you who do struggle with your weight. So last time I did it was the 6th of September. So it's been 19 days since I did my last test. So last time my muscle quality was 94%, today it's 88%. So a loss of 6% muscle quality means that either I've got fat stored in my muscles, or it's dehydrated, or I've lost my mineralization, or I'm toxic for some reason. I haven't had the flu, I haven't had a cold, so I don't know what it would be toxin-wise. But on the weekend, I made both tiramisu and banoffee cheesecake. So of course I shared them around. It's been as you do, you sort of enjoy and share with the people you love because you want to spread around those calories. You don't want to eat them all yourselves. Nonetheless, very interesting that over 3 meals so far, we've had those, and I've still got 3/4 of a banoffee pie in the freezer. So I think I'm going to not partake because my muscle quality has gone down 6%. My cellular fluid balance, that's about inflammation. It's about the inflammation on the cell walls. Now the number is supposed to be less than 0. When the number is less than 0, your cells are sucking in nutrients and they're sucking in fluid, and so therefore you've got a really good sodium potassium pump working where your body's taking in nutrition and getting rid of toxins. So mine's gone up about 8-fold since last time. So it's not bad. It's still only 7.39, but it's supposed to be under 0. Last time it was minus 0.84. Another thing that's happened, even though, because I have been drinking plenty of water, I do have more fluid inside my cells. So last time I had 15.79 litres, now I've got 15.93. But on the other side of the coin, I have an extra 1.3 litres of fluid outside my cells. So fluid outside your cells, if there's too much of it, is about toxicity. And the total number I have outside my cells at the moment is nearly 4 litres. Now, women with menstruation, basically about 2 litres is fairly standard if we get inflamed at that time of the month. I'm not at that time of the month. And for me, 4 litres is really quite huge. So that says, what a surprise, my body is not dealing with insulin. Well, that's my guess, given the last few days I've had. So what I'm going to do later in the day, and I'll actually video that as well, I'm going to do my insulin resistance test, and test it. Now I'm doing a 16-8 today, so I won't be eating until lunchtime, and then I'll only eat for that 8 hours in the day, and I'll keep it healthy. So I'm not going to be eating until 1 o'clock today, or 12 or something. I don't know what time my lunch break is, but I'll do the insulin resistance then. So it will have been a fast since last night, which can make the numbers look better. So when I do an insulin resistance test, that's checking your HDL, LDL, total cholesterol, and it's doing mathematics with it and working out where we are as a pre-diabetic. So I'm curious whether this is directly linked with pre-diabetes, which brings me back to my supplements, which reminded me about it, because I've got my glucose support, I've got my biochromium, I put the chromium up on the shelf, and there's also a magnesium supplement that's got chromium in it as well. So I might even also pull out my oligo scan, which checked my last chromium magnesium levels, and see where that's sort of sitting at the moment. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you because it's a bit interesting, because when I did it, because my weight is up a couple of kilos, I put on 2 kilos over the weekend, but my fat mass is actually down. So in the short term, it's all about inflammation, but if you don't get rid of the inflammation, your body will create more fat to store those inflammatory particles, whatever it is. I suspect with mine it's insulin, so my insulin still hasn't rebooted. We did, of course, have the last of the tiramisu last night, and my brother and his son are in town the next 2 nights, so I suspect there'll be banoffee pie going on. So you've got to not partake in order to get these things right. So when we're doing that little bit of naughtiness every day, sometimes it just keeps us in that inflammatory cycle. So just thought I'd share that with you because it was on my mind, and I was quite struck when I did my VLA, which stands for Vitality, Longevity, Anti-Aging, by the way. It's basically a bio-impedance machine that takes a readout of the resistance and reactance in your body and mathematically works out where we are with fat, muscle quality. Oh, and no surprise, I've got a little extra tummy fat on there as well, banoffee pie and tiramisu. I call them my tiramisu belly. So anyway, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one. Love you.